I've been sent this Marshall Emberton Bluetooth speaker thing. And this was very kindly sent over to me by Jonathan Cruz. And Jonathan says, I bought this Marshall Emberton Bluetooth speaker, not working with the intention of fixing it, but unfortunately I have been unable to. Hopefully you are. When it's not plugged in, no signs of power at all. When it's plugged in, battery and Bluetooth indicator lights light up. In both scenarios, no combination of button pressing does anything. What I've tried, I've looked for shortages but can't find any. The multi-directional power button seems to operate correctly. He's done a continuity test. Battery is good and voltage increases when plugged in. Problem I found, there seems to be one screw missing holding the power board. That's interesting. 2 of 3. It was like this when I bought it. When plugged in, mainboard seems to get quite hot in the corner close to the battery connector. I don't have a thermal camera but tried the alcohol trick and even replaced capacitor C123, but no change to the symptoms. Supposed to be a great speaker. I wish you all the luck. Jonathan Cruz. Thank you, Jonathan. So it's interesting that it only has 2 out of 3 screws for the power board. That would suggest that somebody had been in this before Jonathan. So I'm likely to be the third person in this, if not more. Well, we will check all these things. We'll check the battery. But first, let's try plugging it in. Let's see if we get any signs of life. We do. So it's drawing, well, it's 5 volts and 0.36 amps. So that looks pretty healthy. That looks normal, doesn't it? So do we get any lights? Right, we get a red light on the top. Now he said that battery and Bluetooth indicator. So I'm guessing that's a Bluetooth indicator. The battery looks like it's here, but that's not lighting up there at all. No. So when it's not plugged in, there's no signs of power. So let's unplug it. Presume this red light's going to... Oh. I don't know what that means, but that looked interesting. Or did it? Right, well, let's try turning it on now. Nope. Plug it back in. Still drawing. Still red light there, but still nothing here. So it's slightly different than Jonathan was experiencing. But then when I unplugged it, this did light up. Let's see if it does it again. There we go. And then it dies. Oh, there's a little pop as well. Tiny little pop. Right, well, I think we're going to have to take this apart. And let's see if we can figure out what's going on. Right. It's everybody's favourite. No visible screws.
Stupid Bluetooth thing that won't turn on. What the hell's wrong? It's a funny one. Not funny, ha, 'cause I lose my mind. But funny as in weird, I think you'll find. Y'all know this part, it's the big shout out to Cooey Jingus and friends without a doubt. There's Badger Squatch and Freakin' TV, the Dr. Princess Wizard to name but 3. Anthony Dean and Christopher Shaw, me bands where porn segment 4. Massive thanks to all, I feel truly blessed to have wonderful support on my quest. But let's not forget the other MVPs, from the Fire Punch through to the HHG. Gotta show much love to everyone, so let's start off with Robert Pattinson, Steve Panic and his call Ozzy B, K-Suggs, Kid Pigs get the money, John Boucher, Jonathan Harden, Iconics, Frosty Cool Slug, Larry W. Flux, Winklehander Shot, Nate Lucas, Kid Reed, Scott Made a Thing, James Fryman, Reevesy, Andy Banks, Ungolian, Michael Biggie, Sarah Cat, Paddle Cake, Wrap It Up. Peace.
It actually wasn't that difficult to get into. So this is like a silicone cover, so you slide that off. There are some visible screws here. I'm not sure whether I needed to undo them. I think I just needed to prise this off and then remove the speaker part. So we've got a passive radiator and that's the driver there. I mean, it's dinky, isn't it? But it's supposed to be good, this thing. So I'm curious to see what it's going to sound like, if I can get it working, that is. Right, so let's take this board out. Can't see where the battery connector is, unfortunately, because that looks like the other speaker. Well, let's disconnect that. Yeah, that's the right speaker. So there's like a connector here, but there's nothing connected to it. Why is there nothing connected to that? I don't know. But let's take these screws out. I also can't see where the missing screw is yet, anyway. Aha. That looks like the battery connector there, doesn't it? I presume the battery is inside here. Right, okay. Well, let's just double check the battery connection. Make sure we have got some voltage. And I don't know what it's supposed to be. Does it say anywhere? No, it doesn't. It just says input 5 volts at 3 amps. So I presume it's just going to be... Well, it actually looks like a double 18650, doesn't it? Well, we'll have a look at that, but let's get the multimeter on voltage DC. Let's see what we got. 5.8 volts. 5.8? That's an odd number. If it's 218,650, it's probably 3.7. So yeah, 7.4. I would expect it to be 3.7 or 7.4. Plug it in, see if the voltage does increase, like he says. Okay. Yeah, it's not drawing anything now. This board has to be in, doesn't it? Yeah, because it's got connections here and here. I know what I can do. Because I can take that out. Here we go. We've got this. Is this the power board? Yeah, there's a screw missing there. Right, so what's this connection here? Yeah, that is from the USB, I think. Yeah. And that's just a little, probably Bluetooth antenna. Okay. Right, well, if I also take out this part here, which is the USB-C connection, I'm wondering whether I can rebuild it outside of the case. Yes, I think I can. This screwdriver is a Torx 8, by the way. Right, let's plug it in now. Yes. Right, so we've got the same drawer as before, 0.36-ish. Let's see if the voltage is increasing on that battery. 5.92. 5.93. If it goes up another one, I'm just going to assume that it is. I mean, it's not massively quick, but... Okay, yeah, so it is climbing. I mean, that's very low if this is a 7.4 volt battery. Yeah, that's definitely 218,650s, isn't it? Okay, what do we got? It says max charge voltage 8.4, 7.27, does that say? Voltage. Okay, so we need to run this battery up, I think. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to plug it in and we'll leave it charging for a bit, because sometimes that's all it needs. But I don't think so in this situation, but I'd like to have a full battery so that if it does work, it just works. Right, let's leave it there for a bit. Fade. Right, just a very quick update. It's only been on a few minutes and it's jumped up to 1.87 amps, so that's a really good, healthy draw. We're still not getting any illumination on the battery lights there, but this red light is still on here. So I'm going to leave it for a bit longer. Let's see what it gets up to. Right, I've left this charging for a good hour now, maybe more, and we're still at 1.88 amp draw. We still haven't got any illumination on the battery part here. This red light is still on. Let's see what voltage we've got in the battery now. So we're on voltage DC. There we go. 7.34. It's definitely climbed. It's above the minimum, I would suggest there, but it's still not full. I think there's still a long way to go. But let's see if it behaves any differently. Let's unplug this, see if it does that illumination on here like it did when it was all together. Yeah. And then it dies. So it's still doing the same thing. Let's try powering it on. No. Let's try pushing both buttons together. I don't know if that does anything. No. Oh. I've just plugged it back in and now we do have the battery lights on. Well, that's different. Let's try turning it on now. No. Let's unplug it. See what that does. Same thing. Right. let's try putting 7.4 volts directly into this thing. Because it could be a battery problem. I don't think it is, but it could be. It's got some kind of battery management inside it. Don't think it has, so that's probably on the board, but we can try it. So I'm just going to tack on these 2 wires, and then we'll connect the bench power supply up to the other end. Okay, let's just attach these and put bench power supply on 7.4 volts. Here we go. Nothing's exploded. Let's see if it's going to come on. Right, it's drawing, well, whilst I was doing that, it was drawing 0.01 amps. Now it's drawing nothing. Yeah, it's drawing as soon as I press the button. It's not a big amp draw. Let's just try holding these down, see if it resets. No. So as soon as I let go of the button, it stops drawing anything. Let's get the thermal camera on. So there should be nothing heating up now because we've got no amp draw. We've got some heat, but it's nothing. It's 20 degrees. Let's press the button, see if anything changes. So we're drawing 0.01. There's nothing there. Right, well that didn't work. What I didn't do is look at it whilst it was charging. So let's plug that back in. Alright, so we're charging again. And once again, we've got the battery symbols on now. And the red light. And what are we drawing? 0.47. Right, it's just jumped up to 0.94. There we go, 1.47. So that is like 1.87, so it's fast charging. Let's see if we've got any heat on here now. We've got a little bit up here, which I presume is the corner that Jonathan was referring to. But it's not massively hot. What's the maximum there? 54 degrees? We got anything under here? Nope, nothing. So let's see where that spot is there. Yeah, it's these 2 caps. He said he changed C123. And I can see that in the corner, C123. Let's just see if we've got a short on that cap. It is plugged in. Let's unplug it, because that's happened to me before. It's doing that thing where it continues to beep, but yeah, there is a short there. Now it's gone. There's a short on the one below it. So 123 doesn't have a short, but the one below it does. Just checking on ohms. It's like 5 ohms. So it's a short, but it's not 0. Right, I think we're going to have to get this board under the microscope, and we'll have a search around. There may be more shorts elsewhere. But let's have a good look around the board, see if we can spot anything. Okay, so this is the area I was just looking at. So what's underneath there is actually a resistor. 4R7, that shouldn't be 5 ohms, should it? Actually, yeah, that's right, isn't it? 4R7 is 4.7, so yeah, we were getting 4.85-ish. So this looks like the resistor, sorry, the capacitor that Jonathan changed, which I think he's on. Yeah. Right, well, let's just go around and see if we've got any shorts in this area. Right, it's not shorted to ground. Okay. I can't see any shorts. I can't hear any shorts. I'm just going to reflow that cap that's been replaced. So he's replaced it. I wonder what he's replaced it with. That's the thing. How did he know what the capacitance was of that? Right, well, let's just go around the board, see if we can spot anything obvious. not seen anything. Flip it over. Haven't really looked at the other side yet. Maybe I can do some short hunting on this side as well. I mean, could it be that the heat that was being generated from that capacitor there was actually something on this side of the board? Because we do have some capacitors here as well. Let's check that. Multimeter and continuity. No. It's possible it was just normal heat and it might have been generated from this chip when it was going through the other side. Well, let's do what we did on the other side and see if we got any shorts. Nope, doesn't look like it. I mean, it is possible that it's something on this board that's putting a short on when it's connected. I mean, it might not be a short. Something might have just failed. I don't know. Let's have a look at this. It's got the Bluetooth thing on, and that has failed in the past. I can't remember. What was the speaker I did where the Bluetooth board had failed? Can't remember. Right, let's have a look at this. So that is the Bluetooth board there that's soldered on independently of everything else. Let's check that for shorts. No, nothing on the Bluetooth board itself. That's pretty much it. Check these 0 ohms, because I can never resist a 0 ohm resistor. Alright, what am I going to do here? I'm already struggling. Let's have a look at the other side of this power board. Well, it's the top board, isn't it, with the big button on. Because we haven't looked at the other side of that yet. So they're the LEDs for the battery indicator. We've got a few more caps there. A few over here. That's the other LED that was lighting up. That's the Bluetooth button. Yeah, there's not a lot on this. Let's just check the caps that we can see. No. I'm not convinced this button is working. I can't get continuity on it. Unless I'm doing it wrong. Oh, there we go. I just wasn't on it properly. Yeah, so the button is working. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to fix this. I mean, I've not done much. I've only reflowed that cap, which I think was on anyway. But because I've done that, let's just quickly pop this back together, see if there's any difference in the symptoms. The port is okay, by the way. I've had a look at the port. Right, interesting. So, yeah, we've got those lights on again. And when I plugged that in, they went up, like in a linear fashion, just as they go down, like that. Plug it in. There you go. It's odd, isn't it? Because that would suggest that it's absolutely fine. I'm just going to do a quick Google and see if I can figure out how to reset this thing. Right, well that doesn't help because it says it has to be on for you to reset it, and obviously it's not coming on, but you're supposed to hold this Bluetooth down for 7 seconds. Oh, it went off then. I held them both down. There, it's gone off. The lights have gone off, and it's still drawing 0.47 amps. So if I let go, oh, so there we go. It's come back on. Weird. Alright, because I'm massively struggling with this, I'm going to leave it charging again until it's fully charged, just to completely rule out the battery being a problem on this thing. I mean, it might still be. I don't know, but let's give that a go. Fade. Alright, it's been on for like another hour, and it's still drawing 1.8. I mean, I presume it's just going to take ages to get full, so let's just see what we're at now. 7.75. I mean, that should... 100% that should be enough to turn this thing on. This is one of those super frustrating ones because I don't really know what to do now. Let's just see how far that voltage goes. Just ignore this mess around here. This is where I was at the wires tacked on. Right, so there, 7.6. And there, because it's obviously right next to it. But then where's it supposed to go after that? must go underneath, does it? Yes, we've got it on that side of the resistor there, 7.6. And we've got it on that side. So then we go to there, presumably to here, 7.6. 7.6, and then does it come out of there? 7.6, and then it looks like it goes into here. I think we're going to have to remove this gooey stuff. Got like a little capacitor hidden under there. That's 0.5. Wait, it's 0.7. So it's here. So we've got 7.5 volts going into this thing here. 7.56. And coming out of it, we've got 0.7. I mean, that might be normal. It also might not be normal. Let's remove some more of this gooey stuff. This stuff's hard to get off. Right. So it looks like some kind of MOSFET, doesn't it? And looks like we've got the gate down here at the bottom. The drain and the source. I'm not sure which one's which. But maybe something's not switching that on. I'm wondering whether if I put voltage in at the top here, whether this thing will come to life. I'm kind of running out of ideas. Because there's no voltage getting through that. But then maybe it only does when it's switched on. So 7.6 there. And then at the top, 0.73. So if that's the gate, there's 7.6 there as well. I thought if there was voltage on these two, then it would pass it through. But I don't know. I might just try injecting some voltage here, just see what happens. Probably a bad idea. Before I do that, let's plug this power board back in. I'm calling it a power board. The board with the power switch on. Let's push the switch and see if the voltage changes. Oh, it's already changed. It's 1.7. Well, there we go. It does. So you push it in. Yeah, we get the 7.6. So I think that MOSFET is working. So why is the power not getting to the rest of the board? Okay. So where does it go after that? Let's just try it on this inductor here. So same again. We've got 1.6. Press the button. And now we've got 7.6. So that should be the same coming out of it. Yeah, 7.6. Right, so then where does it go after that? Alright, so we've got the voltage all along here. We're at 7.3. Then where does it go after that? Because that looks like a separate... Does it go back to the other side of the board then, through these wires? Yeah, I think it does. So I think we're okay up until that point. So what's on the other side of that? This area here. We've got another chip there. Let's see if we've got any voltage on these caps here. Yeah, 7.3. 7.3. Not on that one though. That's 0.6. And that one's 0.6. So these two, 7.3. So that, now we're on to this. Is this another MOSFET? It's the same thing, isn't it? Right, so there. Going into it. Do we have the 7.3? Yes, we do. Do we have it on the gate? Yes. Do we have it coming out? No. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's 0.6. Right, so that's where the voltage stops. It doesn't go any further than this MOSFET here, even with the button pressed. Okay, I think I might be getting somewhere. Right, well, I'm going to do something foolish now. I'm going to inject some voltage in this area here. I'll just connect it up to one of these. In fact, is that test pad? Because I can use that. I'm going to start at 1 volt. I don't think it's going to do anything at 1 volt, but it shouldn't blow anything up. Here we go. Right, it's doing nothing. Okay, let's increase the voltage. Okay, we're now at 3 volts. Still nothing. Right, I'm just going to go for it. Let's do 5 volts. Still nothing. Let's go to the 7.6. 7.6. Okay, here we go. Right, we're drawing. We're drawing 0.02, which is not a lot, but it is drawing. Still not turning on. Right, well, let's see if anything's getting warm now with that. I mean, it's a very low amp draw, but let's just have a quick look. Tiny heat spot there. And that's about it. Let's see what that is. I mean, it's not that hot, is it? 20, 25, 26. It's a little, don't know, again, probably a transistor or something down here. So it looks like it's okay to that point, because power on, 7.7 volts going in. Coming out of that is 4.9. And yeah, it's still not on. I think this just goes to show how difficult it is to fault find something when you've not got a short. So, and there's nothing getting hot. Just don't know what to do now.
Voiceover Steve here. In an attempt to hurry this along, because I spent far too long looking at this thing, I tried numerous other things. I went through the board, I checked the voltages were present or not present. I honestly can't even remember at this point. But I did also take off the charging chip because I thought it was getting hot. I put some isopropyl alcohol on and it bubbled up. So I thought, maybe it's that. There were no shorts around it. There were no shorts on the chip. But I took it off, tried to turn it on. Still didn't come on. I obviously knew it wouldn't charge without that on. But I thought it might turn on. It didn't. So I put the chip back on. And then I was on the verge of giving up. And this happened, I guess.
Right, I was on the verge of giving up on this thing. It feels like an eternity later. And I've discovered this. At the moment, I don't know what it means, but basically, I decided to have a look inside this battery. So I removed the shrink wrap to look at the board at the top. And it all looks fine. The voltages are what you'd expect. Both batteries are the same. I think they're 3.9 each at the moment, so it's about 7.8 in total. I can't see anything wrong on there. Maybe it's still faulty, I don't know. So I built one. I built this crude-looking thing. So I put two 3.7 volt batteries in series to create 7.4. Fully charged, this is about 7.8, same as that. And I've attached it to the board, and when I plug it in, it does this. Red light. Makes a noise. Lights over here, and then off. And then it does it again. Just like that. And it'll continue to do that. It'll do it again in a second. There we go. So I don't know what that means. I'm guessing it's stuck in some kind of boot loop thing now. But why is it different with a different battery? I don't know. So yeah, if you leave that, it'll just carry on doing it. Well, I guess forever. Until the battery runs out. So since that's doing something different now, I'm now going to plug the original battery back in and see if that does the same as that, or whether it reverts back to what it was doing before. Let's find out. In fact, before I plug it in, I should probably remove those wires just in case they get in the way. Oh? Wait, what? That's different. That's definitely different. And it's also drawing 2.31 amps now. That's even higher than it was before. It was at 2, I think. Shall I try and turn it on? Oh, I'm scared. Uh-oh. Right, well, this light's flashing. I don't know what to do. Shall I put it back together? I feel like I should make sure it's working before I put it back together, but then that's not what we do. You see, part of me thinks maybe I reset something by putting the other battery in, and it went into that kind of boot loop thing. And maybe by putting the original battery back in now, it's kind of reset something. I don't know what. I am going to put it back together. And yes, I know. But I am. Right, let's do this. Right, well, I'd like to say that was fun to put back together, but it absolutely wasn't. This silicone thing doesn't appear to be on properly, but who cares? Let's see if it works. No. No, it's not doing anything. Let's plug the charger in. It's taking a charge. Nothing's lighting up. Oh, come on. Part of me wonders whether I put something not correctly in there. I don't know. Shall I take it apart again, or do I just give up? Never gonna give you up. This wasn't on properly. I misaligned 2 of the pins. And hashtag spoiler alert. I should be excited. But I'm not. Let's put it back together again. Hello, I'm Future Steve. I made a big balls up of this. So it's a few days later, I've come to edit the footage, and I've noticed that my camera died halfway through when I was putting it back together. At first I thought that I could recover the file, because it had recorded some of it, but it hadn't recorded any of it. I could have just left it. You saw that it came on. You saw that it was probably working, but I thought it was better just to get it back out. So there's not going to be any surprised expressions or get in there's when I do this. It comes on and it works. But you already saw that in the hashtag no spoilers bit about a minute ago. So without any further ado, let's test it. It actually sounds really good. I'm very impressed with it. Didn't mean to start it again then, sorry. So yeah, I'm really annoyed with myself that I didn't double check that the camera was recording, but hey ho. These things happen. So yeah, I don't really know what I did to fix this thing. I swapped the battery out for my makeshift one, and it started to do something different, and then I put the original battery back in, and it started working. So I can only think that it's reset something, but what, I don't know. And how, I don't know. I don't know. So there's going to be 2 stupids here. Stupid camera, for definite, and also stupid, Marshall? Mothers?
I'm Slim Shady, yes I'm the real Shady. All you other Slim Shadys are just imitating. So won't the real Slim Shady please stand up?